Hello and welcome to our podcast, Cozy Conversations with the Sister Project. I'm Lauren. And I'm Michelle. And we're so excited you stopped by for a visit. Come on in. Yeah, make yourself at home. We're two Midwestern sisters who love a good old-fashioned conversation and enjoy sharing our life experiences with one another and you. Consider this your one-stop shop for cozy, mindful well-being, along with some entertainment and lots of wheezy laughing. Oh, you bet there'll be a lot of that going around. Our goal is to live our coziest life and inspire you to do the same because the truth is, we think it's good for your mind and your body. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, let's get cozy. Well, hello there, and welcome to Cozy Conversations with the Sister Project. I'm your host, Lauren Massarella, being joined by my co-host and sister, Michelle Anderson.
Hey.
Welcome, Michelle. How are you doing today?
I'm great. It's the first official day of summer for the kids. We're home. I didn't wake up. I didn't have to make lunch. We weren't rushing to get anywhere. We are just easing into
How lovely.
I love it. I'm here for it.
I saw something recently and it totally resonated with me. It goes in line with what you're saying. And it was like, hey, you don't need a 10-step, multi-layered morning routine to start your day off right.
No.
You need a couple good big breaths in and out through the nose, mindful breaths. Move your body a little bit. Rotate the shoulders, get a twist and stretch the side body. Step outside for a few minutes.
Clear the tank, blow a toot or two, just to
get
really
it. Yeah, clear the tank.
Yeah.
Drink some water and set a bit of an intention for the day, or say to yourself, it's gonna be a good day today, because your mind over matter. Remember, they used to say that to us all the time. It's
never quite got it,
matter.
but now I get it.
Now I get it. Maybe they need to come up with a different way.
Explained it better.
Yeah, mind over matter.
I understand. Now, if you at that point, I hadn't quite gotten the grasp of the
what's the matter?
Part. The matter is
matter what?
Mind over matter is that a scientific term, physical matter.
Yes.
This,
or you mean mind over situation?
Could have used a better explanation.
Now moving forward, now we know. But that's it, and it's just kind of like what you're saying. You've been easing into the day and it sets the tone. It's a beautiful thing. And I like the simplicity behind a morning. It doesn't have to be like a marathon,
a robotic,
or an Ironman competition. Okay.
No, ma'am.
Just start it and get going. Make it cozy a little bit, make it mindful. And you're setting yourself up for success. Like they say, mind over matter.
Mind over matter. No idea what it meant. Now I kind of have a clue.
You guys, we have a plethora of a conversation coming up. I mean, we're talking about weighted vests. We're talking about e-bikes, recap on the farmer's market. Michelle's talking about free Mary Magdalene again.
Justice for Mary Mags.
Justice for Mary Mags. There's so many good things to keep up with this conversation and stay cozy with it and tune into. So we really, really hope you enjoy it. Do us a solid. You know who you are. Listen, if you're listening to this podcast every fucking week
and you haven't,
do us a solid,
written a
review, and leave us a review.
Now,
and Michelle will tweak your nipples.
No, I won't.
I'll give you
Lauren
lip kisses.
I will not do it to you what I wouldn't like done to me. Okay. Touchy, no touchy. All right. Just write the review. Give us a ring. I'll buy you a spritz.
What do they get? Okay. You'll buy. No, we'll give them a shout out. Okay. And a spritz. I'll make the spritz. That's what we'll do.
There you go.
Spritzes, shout outs, and reviews.
Yeah.
And nipple tweaks. Okay. Enjoy the wonderful conversation. Stay cozy. So, of a couple things that's not cozy anymore for me. No, they were never cozy to begin with. We talked about last week, social media being inundated with this, you should do this, you should do that. So many things you should do. And, recently I've been seeing a lot of people walking outside with their weighted vests on. So I'm at the point where you just say, basically social media will tell people to do anything and people will do it. And I'm not making fun of anyone.
This is a big
I'm not making fun of anybody.
The weighted vest was a big topic of conversation with the ladies I was with yesterday, because my bestie, she's got one.
Tell me what's going on. What is she wearing it for? And I'm coming from a place of judgment with absolutely no backup plan. What are we wearing it for? I have enough weight of my own to bulk around, plus my 30-pound toddler. Is that my weighted vest?
Well, I said that, I got in on the balas as you did.
I
The
love the
internet
balas.
told you to buy balas and you bought
Dude,
them.
no. The balas have been a thing. Weighted wrists and ankle weights have been a thing since like the 80s, 90s. So that's actually
Well,
untrue.
and I bought them because you bought them. And then I was like, my ass are so tired. Never wore them again.
I have mine behind mine. I love my balas. They're okay for different things. But wait, let's stay on topic. What is the deal with the weighted vest? What are we doing? Are we adding more pounds to walk around with? How does this work?
I don't know anything about it. I see people walking in the woods with them. It appears to be a new approach to
strength training.
But I don't know what you're strengthening because
your core, your back. I don't know.
But I don't understand. I feel like almost like it seems to me like it would be making your legs stronger because you're.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the concept is because I'm
thinking you've got a weighted vest on. So the first thing a weighted vest does is your shoulders might drop, your chest might lean forward. So you've got to combat that. So you lift up. Shoulders stack over your hips, your core super engaged. Listen, I'm here for all that. My observation here is that social media, a group of influencers can get together and tell you to put rub fucking peanut butter all over your face and go sit in the sun for 10 minutes. And they'll be like, this is exactly what you do for smooth skin. And everyone will be rubbing fucking peanut butter all over their face.
I think it
actually in the sun.
Goes beyond the influencers. What happens is the rucksack company, there's a white guy at the head of that organization that's what we're going to do is we're going to have a big marketing campaign and we're going to target middle-aged women and we're going to get
desperate.
Rucksacks.
We are desperate for answers and help.
If the rucksack makes
you're calling it a rucksack.
Isn't that what it's called?
I don't know.
I think it's called a rucksack.
I just see weighted vest.
Hang on.
Michelle, it probably is called.
Hang on. Rucksack. Backpack.
This is like the conversation I had with someone over the card catalog and Dewey Decimal System yesterday.
Okay, I think it's a little bit different. The rucksack is more of a weighted backpack, where the weighted vest is a different situation. Clarification.
I think the rucksack is what maybe people who are doing Ironman.
Or they're training for some big climb
the
military,
or something to take down Osama.
Now listen, if there is a disclaimer on the weighted vest that says your lower abdomen, middle-aged panis will disappear, sign me up. Yeah, panis. That's
a panis.
I think it's a medical term for the
fupa.
It's the fupa, but the doctors call it a panis.
Have you ever heard of a gunt? Have you ever heard of a gunt?
Yeah, sure. The doctors, ma'am.
We'd have you.
Did you just call me a gunt? No, I called you a gunt. You're such a gunt.
She's such a gunt. Listen, we're bringing it back. I was listening to someone talk about how, the difference between, oh my God, it was a meme. It was a meme. It's actually a meme that me and my bestie, from Australia, Deanna and I were passing back and forth. It was here in Australia, we love to observe you Americans. You guys get really mad when we say the word cunt, but you'll have semi-automatic weapons available for anyone who wants one.
Point taken. Well said. Well stated. Fair point.
Deanna was sending me back crying emojis. She's horrible and hilarious. What is this world?
Doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry for saying that word. I know it's a touchy word for so many, but listen, in Britain and in Australia, it's a very common word. It's saying good. It's like saying, what's up, girl?
Good day.
But I'm going with gunt. I'm going with that's what I'm going with.
Oh my God.
I got to talk about something. This is a hot topic in the suburbs. I'm just doing some social listening and it's not cozy because it's actually a concern, but
what?
I've been seeing it everywhere. And you and I have kind of talked a little bit about it. And being in the city, we've got other issues, which is our issue. So when it comes to on the street driving and vehicular etiquette, the issue downtown, as I've shared, is that people fly through red lights. Listen, I was at a moment where I saw a cop watch someone go through red light,
and
there's no punishment, you guys. People, it is at this point, it is optional. If you want to stop, go for it. if you're in a hurry or you don't give a goddamn, just keep going because there's no repercussions. Where I'm going with this is that's our city issue. I hop on Facebook, to do the real quick catch up in the morning. And like the mom groups out in the suburbs are going berserk, and I get it over these
the
motorized bikes.
The e-bikes, hot topic.
Yeah, so what's going on? Like, are you guys talking about it online only? Are people talking about it in your community in person?
I'm sure the Nextdoor
what's going on?
I'm sure the Nextdoor app, which is the hub of the town criers, the hub of
Listen,
the
this is a good town cry, though. I'm here for this cry.
I am seeing on
something's going to happen.
Well, I think things are happening. I think that people are getting hit. I think that motorists are avoiding accidents.
Not cozy.
And I think that. And the question is these kids are going. It looks like they're going 20 miles an hour on these things.
That's fast for a bike, right? Like that's obviously fast.
And they're cruising, and and I've witnessed myself is also similar to the asshole drivers in the downtown city of Chicago, that they're not defensive. They're just powering through, and
I don't know what they're
scaring people.
Doing.
Now, my thing is like a couple of things. If you don't have a helmet on one of those things, good, you have a death wish. But it's the night riders, the kids that are cruising quickly at night that are kind of blending
this is like a
into
legit concern.
Oh, I would be scared shitless every time. In fact, who was I talking to? Somebody was just. Were you telling me? Yes, you were telling me.
What was I telling you?
You're someone that you knew had just been the recipient of one of these e-bikes, and the concern from the elders. Is
from the elders is you got to know you got to know the road rules.
Yes,
you have to drive and be mindful of a car's rules, and you have to know. And that brings up a really good point. These kids are not of legal age to drive, so these are young kids, 13, 14.
Never taken a behind the wheel.
I'm blown away. And the cost of these things are
$3,000.
So one of the moms on, so it's getting petty, and I'm loving it because like from an outsider's perspective, I'm like, this is like the ding dong ditching, which I also think is complete bullshit and so freaking annoying. These kids should not be able to go on people's lawns and at their doors and harass people.
I think harassing is absolutely
there's harassing, and I've seen harassing people. Ding dong ditch, fine. We all did it.
Go ring somebody's doorbell. Have a good night.
Yeah,
but
see you later.
Going back and forth and terrorizing people, not okay.
And like at 11, 12 o'clock at night for all
elderly,
hours of the night,
sick
like,
people,
that's not
parents
funny.
of young babies. Maybe
you're an asshole.
You're stupid jerk. Not nice.
Well, what I was going to say is that this one lady is getting petty because this lady's like, you guys, I was at Oberweis. I'm like, oh my God, tell me more. I'm just watching this from my phone. She's like, I was at Oberweis eating my ice cream, and I heard a young boy talking about how his bike cost him $2,500. And the boy that had his bike was like, yeah, that's how much mine cost. And she's like, what are we doing buying these kids machines with no education on how to ride them, no safety protocol, which listen, I'm sure that the parents
it's a valid concern.
Careful.
It's a valid concern.
It's wild because it's always on these suburban, these mom, Facebook posts or groups. And so, good golly, it's quite a concern. And, plenty of accidents happen without these things. And these are just adding to the situation.
I mean, and I tell, like, my kids are new drivers. They're 16-year-old drivers. And I'm like, you guys have to be, I'm like driving. I say do as I say, not as I do, because I'm about as offensive.
You are the worst driver.
Okay. I just couldn't be
do
worse.
as I say. Yes. Your turns. We have been on one side of the road, and Michelle has taken the widest ass turn. And it's like, hold on to your tits. Because I could fall out of the car.
And the question I ask you is the same I ask everyone else. Did you get to your destination? The answer is barely, but at least you got there.
This reminds me of the story that we were talking about in the woods. I haven't posted it on Instagram. We should just share it here. When you and I discovered that you were in the car. I thought I was by myself. I must have been, I'm going to gather that I was like, how old can you be when you sit in the front seat of a car? Was I in the front seat or was I in the back seat?
I thought
my memory was that I was in the front seat.
But my memory was you were behind me.
So I must have been in the back
seat. I was in the front seat, and you did
that would make sense. Well, wait, let me tell the story. So I'm in the back seat of the car. Let's just go with that because I know I was in one place or the other. Either way, this is what happened. there was this guy down the street. His name was Joe. We're just calling him Joe. He was a young kid. And, kids back in like the early, like the 90s, they were just like, you're a little kid, you see them, you're like, you're so cool. It's like watching Can't Buy Me Love or watching like, the Brat Pack. We had like one living down the street basically. And he would get out of his car, and before he would come to a full stop, he would open the door and like put his leg out, almost like drag his foot a little bit and like just be cool. Like Joe Cool. And he would just, come in, and then his foot would come out. He would open the door and he'd get out. And I'm like, oh my God, he's so cool. And then, so one day my dad was driving us home from somewhere, probably a soccer game. I was just tossed in the back, like, just get inside, you're coming, probably where we were coming from. And as my dad turns into the driveway, I decide I want to be like Joe Cool down the block. So my dad turns in, he did a right-hand turn in. Yes, I was in the back because I remember I opened the back side door behind my dad. And instead of like putting my little tiny 7-year-old foot out the door, I opened the door, took off my seatbelt, and I rolled out of the door and down the driveway.
It was like you were like filled with dust. Like there was like dust and like shrapnel.
I remember like landing, landing on my back and looking up, and Dad was so mad. I scared the shit out of him.
The Dickens.
I scared the Dickens out of him, rightfully so. And he was like, don't you ever do that again. I haven't done it since. I've been thinking about it though.
No, because now what you're worried about is all these kids on these e-bikes and getting a
like
TBI.
Open my door
so you're like, you know what? Today I'm not going to get a TBI. Have a good one.
These kids, everyone's got to be careful, not cozy.
Point.
Weighted
slow
vest,
down.
not cozy. You guys, we do. And I just want to put this out there. I want to be the girl on TikTok that says you do not need to buy anything else today. You are trying enough. None of us are going to live forever. It's like that asshole Republican state representative said when people were like, wait, if you cut Medicare, we're all going to die. She's right. She's an asshole for saying it under those circumstances. But when it comes to us just trying our best, know that you are. Aren't we all? I mean, some of us are bust
you
outs,
are enough, and you have
you
enough.
do enough.
And you don't need
and you have enough.
Else.
Like,
and
honestly,
you have enough.
Like,
Remember COVID when we were running out of paper towels and we started using washcloths again, just like the old days? I learned quickly, you know what? I don't even need those now when the paper towels fill the shelves again. I mean, bring them on in.
And Bouncy, Mr. Bouncy.
100%. But you know what? I mean, it was a reminder for a moment. We have enough. Did you see that Cap happened to catch the Today Show this morning?
Only a portion of it. What did I miss?
On the Today Show, I can't remember the name of these dolls. So this is the newest stupid.
My soon-to-be sister-in-law.
The newest what?
Go ahead.
The newest stupid piece of crap that is going viral because it's viral on social media. They're little scary little dolls.
I've seen them. What are they? Cuckoos?
Some sort of doobidles, dabbities, jojels,
doobity-dabbity-doo.
And you buy them and you don't know what kind of stupid piece of shit that's going to go into a landfill is going to be in the bag. So it's a surprise. So you buy this thing and then you open and it could be a scary face or maybe it's got crooked teeth, but they're stupid and everybody's obsessed with them and they're flying off the shelves and people are this thing that costs $25 that probably costs 3.5 cents to make. People are spending hundreds of dollars of their hard-earned money on absolute crap that fills up a landfill.
Michelle,
to hook to their backpack.
It's another the backpack hooks. Yeah,
sure. No,
listen,
won't have it.
I want to move to a woodsy area.
I'm fired up.
Where I want to move to a woodsy area off the grid where you don't need much. We don't need much. Like we literally don't.
Here, got an idea.
Need
if
anything.
We all turn off social media, if the world goes dark on social platforms, I bet consumerism will plummet. Okay, immediately.
100%.
Go dark in the name. Let's start another revolution because that's all we do around here is start revolutions.
Later on in our convo, I'm going to tell you how we went thrifted, and I don't even pay top dollar for like amazing antique things. Like I'm at the point, like I love thrifting. I love seeing what I found. I'm going to show you when we get to our reading part. And, even there, they'll jack up the price sometimes. I'm like, no, I'm not paying for that for something from 1992. Yeah. Okay,
ma'am, it's not another man's item. Trash is my treasure, but I'm demanding you lower the price of the treasure. Bring it down.
So speaking of the suburbs, bring it down. Speaking of the suburbs, We went to the LaGrange Carnival over the weekend. I just want to put out there that the summer of Luna has begun.
Oh my God.
Homegirl is just loving life. Bouncy houses, the carousel. She is just living. I've shared this before about having a toddler. They really help you have fun because you can't be an asshole sitting on a carousel pouting, or else what are we doing? So you got to get, we're having fun with her. It's so fun. And to really just be a bit mesmerized by everything around us. So she's helping me.
It's the best part
and I
about
feel like
parenting
I often
this age.
am that way, but she just amps it up. But I have to tell you something. Walking into the carnival, what pops in my mind first, and it's not what you think, what we discussed, it's Final Destination, the movie.
Tell me why.
Why not? Because if shit's going to go down, like, I don't know, like a zippity doodah, passenger, car is going to fly off and then like fly off.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally walked in and I can't help it. It's just, I see these movies. I just think Final Destination.
I need to watch that movie so I can connect with you on this
good.
thought.
Basically, it's, Death skipped them, like a horrible plane accident skipped him because he had a premonition. So now Death is trying to catch up with them. And it's the most random accidents that happen. Like, just the most random, like the zippity doodah, car thing on the ride, the carny ride flies off.
Yeah, that was
and then it flies into the carousel and that goes up in flames. And then the electricity lines go bibbity bop and they start decapitating everybody. I mean, it's the grossest. So
sounds horrific. So that's what you were thinking as you were walking in on the summer.
Right when I walk in, I thought Final Destination. I was like, Lauren, get back to.
I was going to say,
get back.
Too
to
funny.
Earth. But so fun.
Funny.
So shout out to the LGBA who put on an amazing farmers market. We're going to catch up on that here in a minute after we catch up with Michelle. The pep parade, the 100,000th pep parade. And then the carnival, the 3-day carnival.
First time this year was the first time I did not go walk up to the parade. My kid, I wasn't there for any of that. I did not experience. I experienced the farmers market, but I did not experience that for the first time ever in a very long time.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did you have this is a 2-part question, or it's just either or. Did you have FOMO, fear of missing out, or ROMO, relief of missing out?
You know what? I guess I didn't even have ROMO. I literally had JOMO. I mean,
joy. You had JOMO.
Instead of being up early in the seasons past, my band has done the pet parade. That's fun as hell. But I mean, you're standing for several hours. I was playing pickle with my friends, and that's how we started the day.
How lovely.
It was.
Well, you're past the point of dragging a toddler or 7-year-old down to the parade and let's go do this for fun. You get to go freaking play pickleball.
I mean, who's kidding though? They were dragging me. They were like, you're bringing us to this. And now everybody's just kind of growing up and we're finding fun in other areas, and fun we found.
And that is the days of our lives.
Oh, wow. As the world keeps turning.
That's what I meant to say.
Are the days.
And the world, I don't even know what I was saying.
As the world keeps turning,
the world turns.
These are the days of our lives. Those actors, talk about job security. Some of those folks have been on so long. They've had 7 facelifts. They look
They've died and come back. They literally have died.
They are dead. Some of them are dead. Frozen.
There's always that one where I don't know what soap this is, but I know it because it was like a cultural pop culture moment in time. The Possession. Did you ever see the clips of one of the characters actually became possessed by the devil?
No,
that's where they had to go for storylines because they're like, we've done them all.
Yeah,
they've slept with the neighbor, the gardener.
Imagine if they had AI then. Whole different ball of wax.
Whole different ball. Yep.
But that was the best the old regular brain could come up with.
A possession. A devil's possession. So, Michelle, I've been doing a lot of field trips. I went to an amazing bookstore called Exile Bookville over in Exile in Bookville over right by Millennium Park. It's on Michigan Avenue. It's actually in the Fine Arts Building.
Does it slap?
It slaps. It's just Listen, it's a phenomenal bookstore. They have a whole shelving unit of pens for my friends out there that love different style of pens. I mean, they had a $35 pencil, and not all the pens. Some pens are $2, but just like, there's people out there that love that analog, right? My friend Maggie's obsessed with, we both are, different types of pens. But what was really cool, so check it out if you're looking for a great new bookstore, but being in the building of the Fine Arts Building of Chicago, it's so old. They still have elevator operators that like wind you up and pull you back down on the elevator. They close like the little accordion door, and you ring a doorbell basically to get a lift. Like literally,
is it like
get
a buzzer?
Up or down.
Is it like
it's like yeah, kind of, but there's a little bit of a bell to it. It's not just that. There's a little bit of a jingle jangle. But it doesn't indicate that you've rang the bell. You ring it, but there's no like, it's coming. Like, how you kind of see the numbers drop. And so I asked the guy, I'm like, what's the etiquette here? How do I know like if you've heard me or if I should ring it again? And he basically told me that they hear it, but then they just start riding the elevator shaft so they can see who's waiting outside of the elevator. And then when they see you, they stop and they come and get you.
Now, I have a question. Like
Yes.
when because this elevator experience sounds like actually like a cozy conversation, because
it was.
And towards the end of my tenure working downtown in a tall building with an elevator, something that I noticed was we all got in, we stared at our phones, we pressed our buttons, we got to our floor, we left without saying goodbye. It was like this total solo experience. But you had a old-timey
Wait
ride.
a second. Yes. And I didn't even tell you, there were like 3 young individuals, and they were clearly tourists, probably somewhere from Asia. And they were really excited about this elevator experience. Like they were filming the whole thing. They probably, because they're, depending on where they come from, they probably have never seen elevator shafts so old with a guy that's running the place. And they videotaped the entire thing. So for some people, it was super... it was something from like the olden days they've never even witnessed or seen before. So it was fun to watch their excitement as well, like record it, because I've been in one of these before. And then going on with Dad, it was hilarious because it was a little bit of a bumpy ride. But I did find out, I asked more. And basically your point in it being a much more like human experience, 1,000%. I mean, you're like watching, is this guy going to like, what does he do? Like lever you up? But I did find out they are sadly in the beginning process of redoing the elevators so that they will be automatic. In the next 2 years, they will have no more gentlemen running the elevator. But this is a cool little thing I found out. These men who've been running the elevators have been doing it for their whole life.
Amazing.
Many of them,
are they in a union?
Their job.
They're like in the elevator
probably
union?
in an elevator union, but they're also, they've also been secured jobs. Once the elevators have been updated, they will have jobs elsewhere in the building. So I was like, that's actually really fucking
silver
cool.
lining. Love to hear that,
Yes. So it was like a whole experience. So Fine Arts Building, and just so our listeners know, every, I think, second Friday of the month, the Fine Arts Building opens up its doors. So galleries, musicians, there's so many cool creative things going on. They open up the door, people will have wine, and you go from floor to floor and you see the art that people are doing, the music that people are making. So we're going to check it out, and I will report back if it's worth going to, which I think it will be.
Thank you for
fucking
sharing,
love it.
huh?
Speaking of the arts, you experienced some art in the comedic realm this weekend.
I sure did.
I mean, I was blown away when you told me what you did.
I was blown away too, but I manifested this whole thing because I'm a fan. So my bestie Killeen reached out to me at about, I want to say 2:00 yesterday and said, hey,
so on a Sunday.
Yes, on this past Sunday, and said, you want to go to see Nikki? Can you be ready to go to see Nikki Glazer at 4 at the Chicago Theater downtown?
I'm just putting it out there. I love her to begin with.
Didn't think I said
Twice.
yes. I didn't think I said yes. Now, 2 days prior to that, I was looking up tickets to see if Killeen would go.
For Nikki?
Yes.
To go to
didn't
Nikki?
know that. Yes. Because I gave up my search because Killeen was in Wisconsin for a baseball tournament. So I thought, she's going to be busy and tired. It's not going to happen. So I believe that this was a full harness of the universe answering the law of attraction. I just landed in my lap. So the Highland Queens.
I'm just going to call you Eckhart Toole.
Go ahead.
Tooley.
Go ahead.
Or Abraham.
Whatever. Abraham
that
Hicks.
lady?
Abraham Hicks. Whatever. I'm here to tell you this shit works.
It
So
does.
we drove down and I mean, perfect afternoon, 4:00 show. Nikki Glazer was hilarious, totally raunchy, totally relatable, totally hysterical. She was like, God, she was saying so many things. I was like, you could hear people talking as she was doing her shtick. You know, she's like, I bet you guys were thinking to yourself, I know what you were thinking. You woke up at 10 this morning and were like, God damn it, why did I buy those fucking tickets to
2
Nikki
p.m.
Glazer?
tickets.
You know, she's like, don't worry, I was thinking the same thing. Why did I agree to do this show? Lauren, but you would have really connected with Nikki Glazer. You know, she's very outspoken about this idea of having kids and how she wants nothing to
Good for
do
her.
with it.
Her and
And
Chelsea Handler are very vocal about that.
well, and then we were talking, the girls that I went with yesterday, we were all talking about it. Like, this is like Sarah Silverman, another comedian. She doesn't have kids.
I wonder if this is,
They named a couple of others, but
comedians. They named a couple other comedians. Okay, interesting.
Female comedians that have chosen the route of pursuing their passions, which Nikki Glazer says is the only reason people have kids is because they have no passions of their own. And she was funny because she was like, I'm kidding. Before you had kids, you had passion, but then
and then they disappear for a while.
So she was great. She was super fun.
She's extraordinarily open about the face work that she has had done.
Yes, and her love for porn.
And her love for porn, her hate for Trump.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which I would think that they would have those two things in common, but I guess Stormy Daniels isn't on her queue. In any case, she's super open about her face work, which, listen, here's my thought is that we have so many people in such high profile influencing positions, okay? From someone like Nikki to the Kardashians, where Kris Jenner just went from 70-year-olds to looking like an 11-year-old. And I'm not making fun. I'm observing the fact that anything's possible now. It's like, but the thing is, I really am into people like Nikki who are open and honest about it. Like, Kris, you did not just wake up looking prepubescent with little piggy tails today. Okay, this is not, have you seen her?
Yeah, but she's it's all the talk right now. Isn't she talking about this facelift that she just got? Is
she talking about it?
I think that
I thought there was suspicions of it. Has she shared?
I have not heard from her mouth exactly, but I've heard lots of talk about this just being a topic of conversation.
Same. But I there's something about a person owning it and it's being like, I find it to be empowering. I find it to be truthful. It's just like people who go on weight loss. You know, like you didn't just run your ass off and start eating a shit ton of protein and lose 60 pounds. Okay. At this point, you probably are injecting your diet, which is fine too. No judgment.
You and Nikki align. Also a hot topic.
Why was she talking about that?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, I think it's
I'm here
cool
for
to
it.
just
No judgment.
be mindful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it's just, there's so many, it's this influence that is so wild and it's so strong, and we can all get it really twisted if people just aren't honest about it.
Well, but also what we are starting to see too, because we're getting older. So these influencers, the Kardashians, I'm going to use Miley Cyrus as an example because I just saw her in a segment talking about her tattoos. Yeah. And what we're seeing is we're like cycling through life. These people are cycling through their life and they are having some changes of heart and they are having some regrets. And they
is
are
Miley regretful about her tattoos?
Yes. She said she could do without most of them because they're stupid. And
got it.
And I appreciate that. And I also think that we are going to starting to hear people are taking their implants out. People are removing their fillers. And they're talking about this. And so now, like, we are getting a front row seat to what this evolution of that
totally, Michelle. Very good
look like for them. And, you can make now your decision based on the like before and after of somebody who's lived experience.
Who's already done it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. There's
really
some
good
shifts.
point.
There are some shifts.
Well,
I mean,
I'm excited that you got Don't get me wrong, what?
Plastic surgery is not going away. People are going to be, pulling
No,
it
I'm still
back
thinking, do I want a little Botox? I haven't done
well,
it yet.
Nikki
But I've been
Glazer says
thinking.
there are facials that you can get now. Or,
Maybe
I'm
I'll
sorry,
start there.
facelifts. Sorry. There's
Oh, I don't need a
facelift
facelift
that
yet.
you can get that just looks like you went to the salon down the street. She's
Kris
like, they've
Jenner.
gotten so good.
She went from 70 to 11 overnight, and I'm just stunned by it. It's just, I think about like, what do her titties look like? Like,
oh my God, that was the other thing we were talking about yesterday with the girls. I was like,
just from the neck up, I don't get it.
I was like, at the table, I was like, do you guys have any brasiers that you're liking? Because what I'm noticing is my 47-year-old bosom, they're like water balloons and they're filling up with water. And
So you're
I
not
need something to pull them up and push them back.
Totally. Well, let's find one bra manufacturer out there. Is there someone that can help these midlife moms or women, we're not all moms, but women with our titties? Like,
God.
I have another friend who has mentioned like my menopause boobs. Like, what's going on with this? I don't know. Mine feel bigger. Mine feel like I'm getting like, they're like jammers.
It's because our skin, the elasticity is like, I've noticed
but they're still big.
Up.
They're like bigger.
I know, but they're looser because our skin is getting loose. So
interesting. So they're going to get, so like they're legit.
These 14, 15-year-old girls with their perky little boobs. That's because the collagen and the tautness is on full throttle.
Speaking of teens, because we spoke to some teens this is our hot topic today, you guys. We're talking about the time that we spent last week at the LaGrange Farmers Market, where we did actually get to speak with some local
young
teenagers.
People.
So let's lay out the scene real quick. So Michelle and I, the Sister Project, had a booth vendor tent at the LaGrange Farmers Market last Thursday. We're going to be there again like 3 or 4 more times this summer. So stay tuned for dates. And the idea was we were giving out permission slips. It was a very interactive Sister Project experience where people would come by. We had amazing stickers with our house, slow down, care less, do nothing tagline on them. We were selling our candles in really cute farmers markets totes. And the interactive aspect was we had this permission slip made. This was Michelle's idea. It was a permission slip for people to come up, and we were asking them, what do you need to care less about? What do you need to do less of so you could do more of? So it was really an open-ended permission slip or inquiry into what are you either too worried about, what's stressing you out, anything goes. I mean, people were writing and people were into it. And then, sorry, real quick, Michelle, to wrap it up, Michelle came up with this brilliant idea to get a cowbell. So Michelle called her drummer, Dave, who the Pigs are playing at Montrose on July 25th in the city. We're going. Can't wait.
So many people are going. It's going to be so fun. So good.
And Dave will hopefully have his cowbell back by then. But Michelle got
promises.
No promises. Michelle got a drumstick as well as a cowbell. And when someone said and declared what they're caring less about, they would bang on the cowbell. And some people were timid, but most people beat the shit out of that thing because they are over it. They're over caring too much. They're overdoing too much. Mm-hmm. And so we were
starting a revolution.
We were. And Michelle would say, Heary, everybody. We have yet another person here, Joelle, who is going to
stop caring about her asshole neighbor.
Her asshole neighbor, all in the name of slowing down. We're starting a revolution. They would go bang, bang, bang. Mm-hmm. And there was someone who actually did write, I'm going to care less about my a-hole neighbor. I'm going to care less about my husband's ex-wife. Loved that one. Because that is such a thing I could see would be a hard thing sometimes to deal with. And you probably have to take actionable steps to care less about your husband's ex-wife, especially if they had kids together. I'm sure there's a lot going on there, especially she sounded frustrated. Someone put, I'm going to care less about my dickhead brother.
Yep.
So these were more from family oriented.
A lot of people were caring less about, there's somebody put travel. They were going to care less about travel sports. We had a couple gentlemen come up. They were going to care less about their team, what they were doing. You know, they were going to care less about the corporate BS that they want, you know, the initiatives.
The corporate ladder.
I mean,
someone wanted to quit their job. And then we talked to the teenagers.
And then we talked to the youngins, and it was eye-opening.
Yeah. Shout out to a young lady named Grace who came by twice, and she brought friends with her once and then went back out, gathered another friend, brought him by. And I remember her and her friends there a lot of it was the pressure of school, grades, college essays,
Mhm.
school, finals. These kids are overwhelmed by it, and and what I loved was that they were just at the farmer's market, which was, in my opinion, a beautiful way to get out of the hustle of school, get out of the school setting. They may have been playing hooky, doesn't matter, because they were engaging
No,
with
it was
us and
finals
we were
week. They
getting,
were done. They
they were done.
They were heading out.
Great. And look where they went. They went to the farmer's market, engaged in conversation. Michelle and I sometimes poo-poo the younger generation, probably me more than
You
Michelle.
more than me. I don't.
Yeah, I just admitted to it. Because phones in the face, like, let's get some social interaction going on. Let's have conversations. Let's learn how to coexist and connect with one another. And these young kids did this so beautifully. Honestly, it was one of my favorite parts of the whole thing. And to also learn about the pressures of school. And I get it. I mean, I think all people need to learn the pressures of something, but they shared they're fucking over it. They're done. They're ready for summer. And I was really excited and proud of them for playing along.
Yeah, I had fun with the teens. I had fun. That is actually one of the most, I was still on a high from that experience days after. The
Same.
Connecting with people, having conversations, seeing people that were walking by. Shout out to our summer intern, Franny Pagato, who created a gorgeous attention grabbing sign that said, "Slow down, care less, do nothing." We could see people walking by. They wanted to come over.
Oh, they were taking
a little
photos.
nervous, or they were taking pictures. And then we were like, come on, don't be shy. When they, once you got into the mix with these people and they learned what we were all about and what we were sharing and inspiring people to do, what did that one woman say to us?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
The older woman,
Yes.
Marion from Darien.
Marion from Darien.
She was probably in her early 70s. And I stepped outside to chat with her. And she's like, "What is this? What are you guys doing?" And I told her, I said, we are a podcast. We're a platform, a cozy lifestyle platform, brand and podcast. And our goal is to inspire people to slow down, care less, do nothing. And she goes, "And that is a fine goal. That is a fine mission."
Goal
and I'm like, no
mission.
one has ever described what I'm doing as fine.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you said it was so kind of regal.
Regal.
Yeah, like I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I felt like she was like, she had like wisdom. She was, because she did. She was an older woman. And we're going to talk about this real quick. We're going to talk about that generation. So we talked about the teens that came by to stop by. And I want to preface this with the day before the farmer's market, Michelle and I were running around doing our thing. And we were sitting in our parking spot. We had stopped at Owl and Lark in town to grab a smoothie. I love the Blue Mermaid, by the way. Michelle, you love I
like the Lazy Owl with a shot of espresso.
Yeah. So we were getting our smoothie and then we were sitting in the car waiting to move because we paralleled park and we were waiting to move because there was a train. So there was a traffic jam for a moment. And the woman next to us was in a convertible and she was, again, probably in her early 70s, late 60s. I mean, it's hard. what do you think?
She was in her retirement. Like,
yeah, she was. And she had this music blaring.
Actually, what she said was she is in the last phase of her life.
She said, "I'm a boomer." She said, and well, basically what happened was we were stuck next to her. So we rolled out our window and we go, "Hey, we like your vibe." And she kind of like waved and then she wanted to talk more. And she's like, "I'm a boomer. We're a dying breed. And I'm in the last phase of my life and I just want to enjoy the heck out of it." I'm like, oh, I have like goosebumps thinking about it. Lesson right there. Like, first of all, I love that she's doing that, but a reminder for all the younger ones, us included, we don't have to wait to that phase to just love our fucking life. Okay. So I'm like, "What's your name?" She's like, "I'm Sandy." And so we introduced ourselves and she goes, "I'm Sandy. And my license plate says," I don't know if I want to give it because she probably rides around town. She basically shared her, I don't want to do that. So she shared her license plate and it was the name of her favorite song. And this woman just was living and loving her life. And if there was anything that we can walk away from that conversation was just to love life fucking now. I mean, because you never know. And but now she's riding into the sunset, having a great old day.
In her metallic blue car.
It was metallic blue
with nails that matched. She had different nails that were painted.
Her hair was like blown back.
She was in her couldn't give two shits era. I'm living it and doing it my way. And she was. What I love too is how how we reached out and connected with her, but she was so excited to share that that's the phase of
yeah, we didn't
that she's
solicit
in,
that information from
you know?
her. Like we didn't solicit. We weren't like, why are you having so much? She just
But
shared that with us.
But conversation starter tip for anybody out there: lean in and give somebody a compliment or say something kind to them and watch the conversation gates open with a flood of interaction. That is how you engage.
And another thing that I wanted to chat about, and my friend Laura, a diehard TSP whiff as well. Well, no, she ain't no whiff. She is a real life friend. This is someone I've known for a very, very long time.
She's a relief.
She's a relief.
A relief.
We were chatting about Bethany Frankel, who was 54, and she just strutted down like the swimsuit.
Looked damn good.
Yeah. Sports Illustrated swimsuit, like catwalk or whatever it was. And two things. The first is I have a love-hate relationship with Bethany. Sometimes she bugs the flying fuck out of me. She's so intense. But listen, I've been watching her since she was, what is it? Skinny girl or skinny Marguerite, skinny girl. But yeah, even before, but when she was starting that brand. So I have watched her career just explode and just see where she's gotten to where she is. And I'm going to tell you, she gave a tip on TikTok. And this is why Bethany Frankel just strutted down the Sports Illustrated, is because she said, listen, I'm going to tell you guys something. If you don't believe that you can do something, no one else is going to inject that belief for you. It has to be you. It has to come from there. And she said, back in the day when I first started to pick up on TikTok, like I started to notice it. I mean, I saw that shift happen for her. She went from, doing her thing to now she's kind of a TikTok famous here on another platform. She said to someone in her camp, I'm really into this TikTok thing. I think I want to do it. And they're like, no. TikTok's for 8 and 9-year-olds. You don't want TikTok. Okay. So she was like, and I was like, fuck that. And I did. And now look where I am. Then she's like, and then I was like getting good at it. And I was like, I think I could be an influencer. And I was dying when she said that, because I was like, that's everything I don't want to be known for, is an influencer. I want to be just but I was really kind of like, okay, tell me more. She's like, I want to be an influencer. And someone in her camp was like, no, that's for like, young girls or moms that don't, are bored and need a passion. They want to sell some shit, whatever. And she's like, yeah, okay. And so look at her now. She's influencing. And then she thought about Sports Illustrated. She goes, I want to be on fucking Sports Illustrated. I want to get involved with this. And again, someone said, no. They want like supermodels. They're either going like supermodels or they're going like the opposite trajectory of what we've always seen as a supermodel. But she's like, no way, Jose. And look at her. So she had all these things she wanted to do. Her people told her, no, you can't. And she did it anyways.
Well, I hear those stories all the time too. And it's like, that's the fuel for me. If somebody tells me no, or it's going to be hard, or it's not possible, I'm like, well, that's like, and now you've really lit the fire. Like now absolutely. I'm doing it. Yeah.
And this goes in alignment with what my friend Laura and I were talking about, was that at a certain age, and I've heard this from people, I teach a lot of older women in yoga, and I've heard this from older women in yoga. I've seen it on TikTok. This is a conversation for women in like their 60s, 70s. They feel like they're invisible, that society kind of just doesn't acknowledge them
aside.
Cast them aside. They don't acknowledge them. When you're young and pretty, the doors are held open, blah, blah, blah. And so Laura and I were talking about just how lovely it is that we're seeing now women actually do their thing. They're aging, but they are keeping themselves out there. They're demanding that attention and not to be cast aside. And so Bethany Frankel being 54, doing her thing, that was pretty cool to see. And this lady, Sandy, and it just is. And when I teach yoga, I pay particular attention to, like, if I do adjustments in Shavasana, I try to make it a point to give these women, the older women in my class, some touch and some Shavasana love, because that's something that's in my head, is that maybe they're not getting that kind of attention or anything like that, like just being mindful of. So I try to be, and it's just a good thing to think about, like when you are in a store with someone, hold the door open for anyone, but like, I think this is something that women go through later in life.
So true, Lauren.
Just kind of feeling like they've disappeared from society because they're not young, youthful, and beautiful anymore. But I have a book that's going to change everyone's life here in just a few minutes after we wrap up our farmers market catch up. But Michelle, all in all, I think that the farmers market was a fucking wild success.
It is
On so many fronts.
I just loved us being in the hub with the people, connecting and inspiring people to connect on just a deeper level. I mean, and people that are at a farmer's market, Lauren, they're doing it, like they're going there and they're talking to their farmers and they're having conversations. But for us to like be in the mix with all of that and like see in real time, like we know we connect, we have our podcast, we do our newsletter, all this stuff.
Like
but
you
to,
and I.
Yeah. But to be in the field, like actually doing the research in real time.
Yeah.
And
I felt like we were on an investigative mission.
And seeing the head nods, like I love a good head nod if we're trying to make somebody laugh, but to see that the message that we are trying to inspire, born out of also, that was the other thing. So many people related to the message that it was what was born out of this, like the burnout story, like everybody we came across, the underlying
Your burnout
theme,
story, Michelle.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
guys. Yeah, I know, but listeners,
I did a terrible job explaining it. So maybe we need to 3, 2, 1 that one back in. Wow. Oh my God. Word salad. What am I having for lunch today?
I'm like ready for her to like drop the I burnt out caregiving for my mother when she had dementia. I was raising kids and I was working. And so that's where our mission and messaging was born out of.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say with. And that's why Lauren and I work great together, because we
good together.
Finish each other's sentences.
But people related. There were so many individuals who were like, "Oh my God, I'm doing that right now. I'm caregiving for my husband or my
How
mother,
about the woman that was there?
My mother died last year. I get it.
The woman that was there, she was literally there while her husband, who she was caring
was
for,
in the shower.
Was in the shower, and she had to rush to get back. Like those moments they were heavy, they were massive, they were real.
Actually a couple heavy moments.
They were real,
Yeah, and that's another thing. There were levels of depth with these conversations. Some people were a lot of caring too much about other fucking people, about other people, what they think. A lot of that. So you guys, let's universal
easy
output.
Slough that
let's give less fucks about what anybody. Michelle, like you told people there. Everyone has just like opinions.
Yeah. Everyone's got opinions. Are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Who cares? Just we'll lighten your load with that thought right there. Move.
Yeah, but then from a mental health perspective, there were people, caregivers who are in the thick of it. There was a couple individuals who shared deep trauma that they've been carrying with them for their life, and they are ready to move on
and leave it in the past.
And so, so it's really interesting once we had the opportunity to see some of our hardcore whiffs. You guys know who you are. We saw Jody and Melanie. Oh my God, so many names are escaping me, but those two popped to mind right away. Just so many people who are listeners that they've been listening. They came to see us and we've never met them before. Just so wonderful. And then, of course, strangers off the street sharing some deep personal shit with us. Honestly, thank you for all of the people that did that, because from a person who loves human experience and communication, it was really a beautiful thing to witness and to be a part of. So I'm really looking forward to doing this again.
Can't wait.
Cannot wait. We will be at the farmer's market. We're waiting for our June date, but July 10th, September 11th, and October 9th. Sign up for our newsletter. The link is in our show notes, because you'll get all of that stuff like every week, so you can put in your calendar. Okay, moving on to reading, watching, and listening to. Michelle, you're not reading anything new. No big deal.
I'm not reading anything new. However, the conversation continues about the Mary Magdalene Revealed book, which was inspired by our guest, Lisa Guillot. And I have been talking about this and sharing this book, and especially with my fellow readers out there. And I was having a conversation with my friend Marcy, and she's bought the book, and she's like, you know what, let's have a group. And so now let's talk about this. Let's break this down. So now I'm inspiring folks, get the book. We are going to have a real conversation about this book and Mary Magdalene. And all I have to say is, free Mary Mags once and for all.
Oh,
so
wow.
come all. Yep. Justice for Mary Mags.
People. Justice for Mary Mags.
Yeah.
Where are you having this conversation? On this podcast?
No, we're going to have it in person. We're going to have a book club. Because I would have let you know if we were going to have it on the podcast.
I was just like, when are we doing it? Do we need to have a business meeting?
Don't know, but it's going to be,
Michelle
might be
just started our book club. Which
yeah,
we
it
do
might
plan
just
to
be
do, by the way.
a cozy conversation in my backyard under my pear tree. I have no idea.
I'm
but
coming.
I just
you
need
have a pear tree.
I do. Well, it's not a fruit bearing pear tree. It's just in the shape of a pear.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Well, and it's called a pear tree.
Kind of like the shape of me after I had my baby.
And me, light bulb. There's not a light bulb tree. So similar, but different.
Love it. So I am not reading anything more. I'm still loving Smoke, It's in Your Eyes. Mind blowing, honestly, mind blowing. It's kind of similar. And there's a feminist perspective on it. They go into some things about like people who, like, if you looked at them funny, they're like, witch, and then they kill you. And they were talking about like how they got rid of so many bodies. It's very macabre, but amazing. Like, it's just mind blowing. I mean, I'm not getting into the sad part of that I'm in right now. So I'm going to just skip it. You guys just read the book if you're into death. I was at a thrift store. It's more of like a thrift warehouse. I think it's called My Grandma's House. It's over near Hermosa and like Logan Square. It's kind of a hike from my home, but my friend Elizabeth found it on social media and was like, we got to go here. And it's basically just this warehouse. I think it used to be an old licorice factory. If I got the story
correct. Could you say
it
the way our grandma used to say it?
What? Licorice?
Licorice. Licorice.
Grandma Mano said
yeah,
like that?
That's how she used to call our cat named Licorice. Licorice.
That's so cute. I didn't know that.
I know. That was one of those,
licorice,
I'm the oldest and I caught on to some things. And then the cat was probably dead by the time you came along. Who the hell knows?
Probably pretty much.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of cool stuff in this place, like so many cool things. And, I really had a ball walking through it. It's a cool, it's a mom and pop run business. But my favorite sections are always the clothes, anything milk glass. I love milk glass. The clothing, I'm always looking for hats or scarves. And then the books, of course.
Of course.
And of course, I found this book. If you could see it, it says Outstanding Young Women of America.
Oh.
1970.
Wow.
Just please look at the cover. Look at the cover.
This screams. This was screaming, Lauren.
Yeah.
Take
Lauren.
Me. Take
come and get me. You want me. Isn't it stunning?
It's so you. That's a great find, dude.
So, and I open it and all you see here are names. So these are from California to Maine. Thousands of women, I think about 5,000 women who have been entered, vetted, and were acknowledged for the work that they've done in society, in their community, in their home, in their parish, in their schools.
How lovely.
In civic. Okay. So this is a lot of pages. Now, what really blew the pants off of my body yesterday was the preface. All right, you guys, we've been fighting for our rights and we've been fighting for a place in all of these places for so many years. And in 1970, what I read, I mean, goosebumps. The letter from these two women, okay? And these women, the women they're acknowledging are from the ages of 22 to 35. So they're young women who are starting to make a big impact on their society around them. So one woman was she is Patricia Hurt. She's in the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare. She's the Assistant Secretary for Community and Field Services. And this other one is from NBC News, Nancy Nickerson. And some of the things that they write here, I mean, Michelle, the young women, can I just read a little something to you?
Let's hear it.
Give me a moment. Okay. They're talking about the recognition in this book. That recognition demands more of us. No longer are we excused from having ideas or from being able to articulate them just because we are women, often identified only as someone's wife, mother. Earlier, the challenge was to get in the door. I sense now that a great many doors are opened or at least have been set ajar and ready to be pushed. Now it is up to us to walk in boldly. Okay. So I'm literally goosebumps. These two women are encouraging women to take up space, to be heard, to continue what we've been fighting for. And it is just such a reminder of how far we have come, how far we had to get to where they are, and how much work we still have to do.
Yeah.
And I am just so blown away by women who I've never heard of before with such powerful words. And I got this book not just for me, but for Luna. So when Luna's a little older, she can see what being a woman in America has been like and how amazing it can be and how amazing the incredible opportunity that all of these women before her helped her get. Okay. This has been a work in progress and a big team project as well. And the next thing you'll notice in this book is these images of these women. There's 50 of them because they highlight they highlighted one in each state.
So that's 50 women in that book.
Well, no, there's 50 women just in the beginning. And it's like the most outstanding woman from the state. So they highlighted each woman for different reasons. And then the remainder of this book are just names, accolades, where they went to school, if they are married, if they have husbands or children, and what they have, and a quick blurb of why their impact is noted here.
Has this book been turned into a series, an annual
I have no idea.
series? Because it should be. We should just be creating a...
I don't know, but all I know is that this was a fire that I love to have burning within me, and it has only ignited as beautifully as the cover
like
on this
star
book.
Burning bright or something fabulous.
I'm going to send these letters to you, Michelle, because you'll just
pants
get
blown
on your
off.
Yeah, panties are going to be blown off. So that's what I'm currently reading.
Find.
Unreal.
Great
Watching.
Find.
Thank you. I finished Pee-wee. Very interesting turn of events there when it came to this allegation of child porn. Did you finish?
Mm-mm. I have not.
It's just, you should.
Don't
because
ruin
it. You what?
Don't ruin it for me.
I won't. You know what? Watch it and we'll talk because it really just puts into perspective that situation. So we'll talk when you finish it. I've started And Just Like That with the third season of Sex and the City. Aiden having phone sex, I will never recover from.
Well,
anyone else out there feeling weird?
I've had a couple of conversations with some people that just
when he licked his hand and put in his pants is when I
Okay, I've heard it's horrible. I've heard the
so
series,
bad, can't look away.
Horrible.
Michelle, you started Sirens.
I started and finished it. Okay. I completely binged Sirens on Netflix. Guys, if you watch this show, first of all, here's the deal. Totally binge worthy. It's the most relatable series I have ever seen. Basically, it's about two sisters navigating their own childhood traumas and also the managing of their dad who has early onset dementia.
Is it us? But just not their mom?
It's us. It's us. But there's also this part where one of the sisters is basically the right-hand woman to Julianne Moore's character, who is she's the rich billionaire who lives in this fabulous seaside estate somewhere out east. I don't know if it was Rhode Island or whatever. It's eye candy. It's totally binge worthy. I recommend it.
Will I like it, or is this one of those that you love and I'm not going to like, even given the storyline?
No, because the storyline that I'm giving is a storyline that I kind of came up with after I completed this whole thing. Because to be honest, when I started watching it, I was like, what is the deal here? Like, is there it's heavy, it's serious. Okay. It's like sort of they think it's also like you think that there's like some magical powers going on, but there aren't.
Sirens, as in like the mythological sirens.
There's that play on words, and they kind of lean into that idea.
Okay, cool.
It's worth I think it's worth watching. And I think that you actually, I watch everything that you tell me to watch because I'm a team player.
True. You don't watch everything.
Okay.
You don't watch some of my
avant-garde, fucking deadly murder. No, because that's self-preservation. But from like our experience, you need to watch this so we can have the conversation. At least watch the first couple.
Fair enough. I will do this. Okay. In regards to listening, I am on a high listening to The Sound of Music. I put it on
soundtrack.
For Luna Yep. Have you seen the videos of people, the faking mugging, like me getting mugged? And it's like they've got their headphones on and a mugger comes out to rob them and they're like pulling on their purse and then they play the music that they're listening to.
No.
And people are listening to like show tunes. I would be listening to like The Lonely Goat Herd and being mugged. Like that is nice.
A great tune. Up on the house of a lonely goat, her lady,
lady, Oh my God. Well, because I showed
I am
Luna Sound of
16.
Music and she's into it.
She's into it.
Going on
She's into
17
it.
like that. Oh, she's so into it.
She loves musicals.
She likes music. She likes dancing. You know, Anthony and I went to, real quick as we close this up, Anthony and I went to the Do Division Fest over on Division and in like West Town. And I have to tell you something. They had a huge setup for kids and I was blown away by it. Like it wasn't typically from maybe because I have a kid now, but there was just so much. There's this place called Music House. And I'm just bringing this up because you said Luna loves, you know, music and whatnot. And Music House it's an arts for the kids, dance, music, theater. It's just a place to do all the things.
I think I've been there. Didn't you and
amazing.
I go there?
I've never been. Well, I've never been there. It's a stage. It was a stage. It's an organization company that introduces children to all sorts of arts. Well, let me tell you something. School of Rock basically was on the stage. There were kids singing Enter Sandman by Metallica. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Zombie by Cranberries.
Yeah.
A girl sang Zombie, like, and their bombs and their guns, like little kids. And we were just like blown away. So basically we're enrolling Luna tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me know what the concert schedule is.
Other than that, that's it. Michelle,
that's it. I mean, what a full week. We've really we've lived life this week.
I know. And I was so tired after farmer's market. Like I passed away, slept for like 17 days.
Same, because I think that we are introverted extroverts and the output requires massive rest and recovery.
I guess.
When we were sitting at Ella's afterwards, I had nothing left to give. I could barely put my food in my mouth. And that was a similar feeling that I had after our Zany show. And like the pigs know that I basically am a pile after we play. Like I just am done. I lay it out there and then I have nothing.
I don't know if I don't know if I'm introverted extra. Maybe I am. Who knows?
I am. I think I am.
Someone that knows. Michelle, your simple joy from the past week.
I mean, Lauren, my simple joy, I wanted to like share 40 of them because there were so many, but I'm going to share one that I am so excited about.
Okay.
If you are not a new listener here, you have heard me talk about Ryan and I taking things on here and like using our brains and figuring out how to fix in our home and watching YouTubes and just like these things. Rocket science didn't invent the refrigerator in my kitchen that was leaking water on the base of my freezer for months. So Ryan and I have been doing some troubleshooting. We did a least invasive approach to fixing the ice thing a couple months ago. It worked for a minute and then it started again. Well, this weekend, we pulled the refrigerator out. We pulled the back panel off of it. We replaced it with the $9 pump I bought online. And
look at you.
Fixed our
Instead of buying a new refrigerator?
Or paying hundreds of dollars for somebody to come put a $9 part in. Mia, you can come on in. Yeah, we did it. Oh, hey there.
Bless.
Hey, pool time. Pool time. Summer's here. We're recording.
Good on you guys. Good on you guys.
Yeah,
well
thank
done.
you. What about you?
My simple joys, they're happening every night. Luna, you know, as you know, with kids, they go through phases in regards like how they like to do things and everything just changes it. Like I went from like rocking and singing her a song I made up to now she wants Anthony to hold her. And then I go behind Anthony and we do a group hug, a family hug. And I feel her little hands reach around me, reach
nothing better
after Anthony.
Nothing better.
It's a joy for so many reasons. It's a joy because she is showing love and receiving love and it feels good she's excited. It feels good because you're going to fucking bed. This is awesome. It's the last
hurrah
interaction
it's the final
of the evening.
Final farewell.
It's like a bittersweet beauty. Yes, it's
pleasurable.
But it's been beautiful. So that was my simple joy. That is it's a joy in many ways, like I mentioned. All right, Whiffs, thank you so much for joining us on this cathartic, chaotic conversation, cozy conversation. And for all of the new listeners we have out there that we've gained over the past couple of weeks, thank you for joining our cult of good vibes and cozy conversations here at Cozy Conversations with the Sister Project. Please do us a favor and share this episode with anyone that maybe kind of perked your ear up or thought when you were listening, oh, I know who we were just talking about this. Share this conversation with them and keep sharing the good word of our podcast. And as always, stay cozy whips. Thank you for joining us for today's cozy conversation. For more of the Sister Project, check us out on Instagram at the Sister Proj and our website, www.thesisterprojectblog.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and maybe even drop us a review. Until next time, stay cozy.